What's up, everybody? It's What Jim, and it's about time for this review. It's the review for Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. I've got my Crash soft toy with me here, um, ready to watch me do this video. There he is. I've wanted a soft toy for ages, and I'm glad I got it a few months ago, but I was really glad when I had a Crash soft toy. But if you play the game, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. No spoilers, please, as this is a non-spoiler review. And this is my opinion on the game, and you can let me know yours in the comment section below. And that's just my dog barking, I do apologise about that. But let's start off with the good, and let's start off with talking about the improvements in the game. I think modern mode is a fantastic inclusion, which means you've got endless amount of lives in the game, whereas retro mode, you've only got a certain amount of lives, and if you start the game with modern or retro mode, you can change it at any time, which I think is great. I think I'm really happy that modern mode's in the game, and I like that you can change it. I might redo some of the levels on retro mode just to see how I manage on that. But I would definitely recommend the game on modern mode if you're not the best at Crash. Like me, I'm not very good at the game. I love the different gameplay mechanics, being wall climbing, rope climbing, and grinding. And I think it's just great to see new gameplay mechanics, even if they aren't new even if there's nothing unique, it's not like the first video game that's had these sort of stuff, but it's new for Crash Bandicoot. And I thought the quantum masks are amazing inclusions in my opinion, and each one is unique from one another, and offer different gameplay scenarios, such as a mask that phases objects in and out of existence, and at the moment that's my favourite quantum mask, and a mask that freezes time. There are 4 masks in total in the game. One of them also does gravity, one of them also does dark matter. You will know what I mean if you play the game. And that there are characters that have never been playable in the Crash game before. I mean, they have been playable in Crash Team Racing, but in a proper mainline Crash game, they've never been playable. And those characters, Dingo Dial, Torna, and Cortex, and they all played very different to one another. And I think it's brilliant that there are other characters to play as. I think Dingo Dial is my favourite to play as besides Crash and Coco, and would love a spin-off game with just him being a lead character, or like a DLC in a 5th Crash game. I might talk about my ideas for a 5th Crash game. I'm not 100% sure what I want from a 5th Crash game yet. It's also great to see Coco being a playable character, even though she was playable in the Insane Trilogy. I would expect her to be playable in this, and it's lovely to have her in this as playable. And I think the story of the game I found fun, enjoyable, and made me laugh from time to time. But I still think that Crash 3 had the best story from any Crash game in my opinion. I thought this was good, but I didn't think it was as good as the Crash 3 story. Again, I do apologise about my dog barking. I can't really help that. I thought the boss fights, although were nothing amazing, they're not as good as the boss fights in Crash 3. I still thought they were quite fun to play, and I thought the flashback tapes, I love the idea of them, and they are really good to see. I've only done the first one. They are really, really hard, but it's nice to see some more backstory for Crash Bandicoot. And I thought the inverted mode is awesome to see, and I love that Beanox, who did Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, did this as well, and they did inverted mode, and all the inverted levels feel like you're playing complete different levels, which I love. And most of the time it's just most of the time I think it's it's something I definitely love playing in the game. I've not done enough of it yet, and I thought the graphics are beautiful to look at, by far the best in any Crash game. I thought the Insane Trilogy had great graphics, but this definitely does. And I thought there's a lot of attention to detail as well with the graphics. And I thought the character skins for Crash and Coco were all unique and fun, but don't affect any of the gameplay, however. There are no microtransactions for the skins, which is great to see, but there are actually no microtransactions whatsoever in the game, and I think that's excellent. I love that the hub worlds are done in a similar way to into the first Crash Bandicoot game. I've always loved those hubs the most, and I love that the dimensions in the game are very different to one another. They look very different. They have different enemy types, and there were loads of Easter eggs to find in the game, and some are more obvious than others, and they were very amazing to see. There's some Easter eggs of like previous Crash games, but I can't really go into detail what the Easter eggs are. If you want to know what the Easter eggs are, just watch a video, but it's just they're quite spoilery, so I don't really want to mention what they are. And finally, for the good, I love that the game is linear, but still feels very open, which is great. You're getting best of both worlds, getting it linear, but getting it quite open as well. So, there's a lot to mention about the good, but there's quite a few things to mention about the bad. And there were a couple of issues with the gameplay, which involved a few of the deaths in the game. Like, I think a few of the deaths were probably to do with rope climbing and just me probably not being very good at the game. It says here, rant about how difficult the levels of boss fights were. They were very, very difficult. It took me over 500 attempts. I know it's very embarrassing. Over 500 attempts to do Cortex Castle. It took 513 attempts, I think. That's just ridiculous. 513 attempts to do something that people do. You have to get done first go. Because you have to get the flashback tapes, you have to, complete a section of the level without dying. The flashback tape is right near the end. It's ridiculous, and obviously not going to complete this game. It's by far too difficult, and I think it's nearly as difficult as the first Crash Bandicoot game. Not quite as difficult as that, but nearly there. And I thought, in my opinion, the final boss in the game was a bit of a letdown. That's just for me personally. I was expecting a bit more, considering it was really, really tough to get to that point. It did take like 70 attempts, but I was expecting it to take 300 or something ridiculous like that. And some of the boss fights took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Like, one of them took over 100 attempts. I think it took about 115 attempts. And it's just, it's just ridiculous, really. And I do apologise that I did, say a spoiler then about one of the levels being called Cortex Castle. But, that's just, I had to say that level did take, over 500 attempts. It took a ridiculous amount, so I do apologise that I did spoil the name for that game, but it was something that I had to mention. But, I can just rant all day about how difficult the game was, and I feel like it's a big shame. If the game was quite easy for me, this could be a 9 out of 10, one of my favourite video games that I've ever played, but because of how difficult it is, I'm going to have to give the game an 8.5 out of 10, unfortunately, because it's just, or an 8. I think I might give it an 8, and I feel like it's a shame that the game wasn't that difficult. It could be one of my favourite video games I've ever played. It's just too difficult in my opinion, but that's it for one of the longest reviews, if not the longest review ever. There was just so much I wanted to mention. This is one of the most anticipated games ever since I found out about it. I really could not wait. I have to scroll back to the top. There's so much information there. I'm not meant to do a review today, but I thought, what else do I have to do, really? I don't really want to do any filler in the videos, and I really just want to get this Crash stuff out of my chest, and I might do some more videos, like thinking of what the next Crash game is going to be and stuff, all to do with Crash Bandicoot. And if I were to rank them, this is, so number 4 would be Crash Bandicoot 1, number 3 would be Crash Bandicoot 2, number 2 would be Crash Bandicoot Warped, Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, number 1, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. I still think Crash Bandicoot 4 is, I think that's my mum making a soup or something, but I think that Crash Bandicoot 4 is the best Crash game, although it is very, very difficult. So just keep that in mind, but I do think this is the best Crash game, and if you are a Crash fan, why aren't you playing this? Do yourself a favour and do so. Let me know what you thought in the game in the comment section below. No spoilers for it, please. I really deserve a break after this 10-minute video, ridiculously long for my channel. I like my videos being quite short, but there was just so much to say about this review, and I hope you had, a great time watching my review for Crash Bandicoot 4. it's about time. But anyway, it's about time I end the video there and stop with the puns as well. But anyway, thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which should be on Tuesday. Hopefully it is. I do apologise if it isn't, but I can't see a reason why it can't be. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a whomping day, have a good whomping day, because I think in the trailer they said whomping, it's about whomping time or something, but I'm just rambling now. I need to end the video now. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Ciao.